Hey everybody, it is Dr. McVeary here from the parking lot of the Memorial School where the East Hampton, there was an all-star baseball game, so I'm just trying to catch up, losing power yesterday, and then having no internet really put me back one more day after the trip. So I just sent out a list, and it's a post in our Slack channel of the community managers. So what I want to do real quickly is just go over like what does it mean to be a community manager in a sense, and what's your role there, and then also talk a little bit about the annotation manager in an upcoming video. So, but first let's get to the community manager. Well, the first paper that I ever published was on threaded discussions, and I think a lot of the lessons in the model that is one that I still use today. So we're going to look at this, and then we're going to look at an example community and see some good practices and best practices that you can do. Well, the model I came up with is called CRAVE, and it stands for C, connect to another thread or post; R, respond and restate the purpose; A, answer the thread with specific details; V, use vocabulary from the classroom or the text, or in more, define your key vocabulary for your audience. That's one thing I might change a little bit. And E is provide examples from text and outside sources. Like we really have to, this is an academic class, we want to keep those discussions on point. And I think that, but the CRAVE model is also a part that you want people to really crave to be there, so it's holistic. It's the connections to another thread, post, and I need to change it to add people because that's what matters the most. So make sure that you're saying hello to people when it's your turn as the manager. Make sure that you answer those questions. If you see people that have a question, see if you connect them with somebody that might have the answer. Look for tutorial videos that you could add to the tutorial channels on different things you could do to your WordPress blog to spiff them up. Basically, you want to make it be so class is somewhere they want to hang out. Somebody posts their work. Now this is the most critical. Create the feedback loops. Because if you want people to crave being in your community, you really need to be doing this through your feedback loops. And when you do that, have a clear objective, a targeted area of growth that you're looking for in that person, and really be like, how can I give them deliverable feedback that answers, what their question, or answers a specific part of their project that you want to get feedback on, with examples and with details from the text, with other examples from mentor text. That's a feedback loop, and you really need to have people want to crave to be in your classroom. So let's look at a model group right now. Here is one. This is an old MOOC that Ian O'Byrne ran, and you can see a lot of badge applications. So we can click on Module 2 links, and you'll see a link to a reflection. And so you're looking at that kind of reflection, but what do you see at the other? So he's handing it in and applying for badges. So that's one. And a more recent example, so there's a feedback loop there. Ian decided to use badging as a way to kind of create a, yay, you did it, in a kind of lightweight, but also some of these are, a lightweight way, but at least there's some history there. Some of this history we got lost because we'll see, for example, where people might have handed in things using like Storify or platforms that have gone offline. So we have to think about those as well. Here's another example, and that's part of the reason why with community I put privacy first. So you have to, those people knew from the get-go there was terms of service, that was an open research project, but you have to think about, even though your classmates are posting on their blogs, that doesn't mean you need to broadcast your feedback. If you want to give them a little bit more critical feedback, think about a direct message. If you want to give them huge kudos, leave a comment on the blog. You never dress somebody down on the playground. You never, watch them out, and you don't want to do that in front of all the other kids. It's not something you do in recess, and it's not something you do as a teacher. You're better to, you want to shine them up. So leave a comment on the blog. Maybe if it's somewhere in between, start a thread or a discussion in Slack. And then also, just post questions in Slack. Hey, what do you think about this? Oh, here's a book. Anybody ever read this? And talk about a book. Those are all little things that you can do. That's the biggest part, is to drop in those little comments when you can and when you want. That last group I wanted to look at. So I'm going to go to the IndieWeb chat over here. And I'm going to click over on the main tag here. And now this is a little bit different. Is there's some bots in there, but this doesn't really have a leader per se. It's a leaderless group, but you can see these conversations going on and support questions being asked, questions being answered. Well, that Loki isn't actually a bot, but you're seeing community play out in a way. And it's not just, oh, here's my assignment handed in, here's my assignment handed in. So you hear, like right here, Ian is actually giving karma to someone else. And that's something you can do in your Slack group. Just use the emoticons. You want to give somebody, give them 2 thumbs up. And those little things as a community manager really help. So that's it. That's community under 6 minutes. I said I was going to go over 2, but I talk a lot.